When you think of God, what comes to your mind? Is it a guy with a beard in the sky? Is it a mysterious power controlling the universe? Is it an energy that pervades the nature? In this video, I'm going to discuss the concept of God from an Islamic point of view, as far as I understand it. This is an important topic because there is a lot of misunderstanding and confusion about what Muslims believe, even among Muslims themselves. I'm not a religious scholar or a theologian, nor am I here to convince you of anything, but rather to share my limited knowledge and open up a discussion. So please leave your ideas, opinions, and insights in the comments below. At the core of Islamic theology is divine unity or the oneness of God, known as Tawhid in Arabic. This principle is enshrined in the Islamic declaration of faith, known as the first Shahada, La ilaha illallah. There is no God but God. But what is meant by the oneness of God? What do we really mean when we say that there is no God but God? Confusion is often caused by translating this as there is no God but Allah. When thinking about Islam, many people think that Allah refers to the name of the God of the Muslims. This is a misunderstanding because Allah is an Arabic word that means God and refers to the only God. It is not that Allah is particularly God's name like Zeus or something. Rather, Allah is God Himself, the ultimate metaphysical principle of the universe. That God is one does not just mean that there is only one God rather than 2, 3, 4, and so on. It is not just an espousal of monotheism over polytheism. On a metaphysical level, the oneness of God refers to the fact that only God has reality and existence. Nothing else truly exists. Only God possesses true existence and reality. God is one eternal, unchanging, ultimate reality that was never born and never dies. Everything else is subject to change, death, and decay. In our everyday experience, we see many objects, people, trees, houses, but none of them possess real existence. Everything is constantly changing and has a beginning and an end. Only God is unchanging without beginning and end. What's more, God has no form, no size or dimension. He cannot be limited or contained, and yet He is everywhere, all-pervading. All of this can be summed up by saying that the categories of space and time do not pertain to God. Another point to mention is that although we often use the word He when discussing God in English, God does not have gender. If God is without form or shape, how then can we know about God? First and most simply, we can know about God from our mere surroundings, that is, the whole universe itself, which is available to all people, regardless of their time and place. The ancients as well as the moderns, the Easterners as well as the Westerners, all have access to this truth. You just have to look around and you'll find the evidence for God everywhere. Aristotle said that philosophy begins in wonder, and Kant said that the starry heavens above never fail to cause admiration and awe. From the Islamic perspective, the whole universe is wonderful and awe-inspiring. It is in fact a sign of God's existence. The sun, moon, stars, the animals, the human intellect, everything is a sign of God. While we cannot see God Himself, we can see and interpret His signs. There are many stories about prophets and mystics demanding God to reveal His true nature. But when God reveals just a bit of Himself, not even His hidden essence, it is just too powerful for human beings to handle. The point is that we can never understand God fully because He's beyond imagination, conception, and the powers of the human intellect. But with that said, we can grasp certain aspects of His being. In Islam, God has been described by 99 names, each of which reveal an aspect of His being. For example, Ar-Rahman, the most merciful; An-Nur, the light; Al-Alim, the all-knowing; Al-Haq, the truth; Al-Awwal, the first; Al-Hadi, the guide; In addition to the signs of God in nature, Islam maintains that from the beginning of time, there have been prophets who have brought humanity the messages of God. Each civilization has been sent a prophet with a message in the language of the people of that time and place. From an Islamic point of view, the final messenger within this long series of messengers sent to the humanity, including Jesus, was Muhammad, who was given the message of God in the Arabic language. The message is the Quran, and it is not a coincidence that the chapters of the Quran are called ayah, which in addition to chapter can mean sign. And both the chapters of the Quran and the phenomena of nature are regarded as signs of God. Both natural and scriptural revelations are our proof of God's existence.